Hi, my name is Cody. I did my presentation on the global understanding of foreign languages using technology. More specifically, how new technology has transformed the global foreign communication. So, foreign communication is the communication and interaction with individuals, groups, businesses, etc. And it's the communication internationally. So not just local, but interacting with people of different cultures, different countries, so different languages. And it has become fascinatingly less challenging to communicate with foreign individuals thanks to the innovation of new translation technology. So many companies from around the world have been working very diligently to develop the perfect solution for every form of foreign communication: Spanish, French, Japanese, anything. So companies are working very hard to try to implement foreign translation technology for every language. And according to the World Atlas, there are roughly 7,099 different languages around the world. And surprisingly, that number fluctuates. It increases and decreases. New languages come about. People make up different languages. A lot of older languages sometimes die out. So that number does fluctuate. So for centuries, humans have had a challenging time communicating with individuals who speak different languages. Whether through reading or writing, it has been a challenge for a lot of people. And this challenge has become fascinatingly less difficult to overcome thanks to modern computing technology. So in terms of foreign communication technology, there are many solutions to communicating with someone who speaks or reads a different language. So many companies have been working hard to create just kind of a standalone hardware device that simplifies the language barrier between individuals. So that could be just like a little handheld device that translates different languages. Developers and companies have also taken advantage of already implemented technology, so like the App Store on your phone or the internet, and they've created applications that take advantage of the hardware's features, such as the microphone and the speaker and the camera, and they use those to create applications that will do the translation rather than buying a separate device. So another solution, it's not as quick as the translation devices, but it's been to alter that mundane method of enrolling in a foreign language class and taking a whole semester to learn Spanish or taking a whole semester to learn French, and they've taken it and put it online and created a foreign on-the-go classroom experience that you can do anywhere at any time. So you're not limited to just that one class period of learning new material and then studying it. You can learn at your own pace. So that actually is one of the biggest things nowadays when it comes to learning a new language rather than just translating it. So that's good for people who want to actually know it long term. So throughout the world, companies are coming up with advanced solutions to communicate with individuals of a different language. So the devices that they create allow for one user to speak into a microphone in his or her natural language, and it translates it to someone they're speaking to, so they will understand that language. So one company, which is called Logbar, they've transformed pretty much the way of different languages interacting with one another through a hardware device. And they've created what's called Illy, which is a handheld device that translates one language into another almost instantly. So Logbar's website for Illy addresses its main purpose and how the device works by saying that Illy can translate your words in as little as 0.2 seconds. without any internet connection. So the biggest thing with this device is it does not use the internet. So you can literally have this device anywhere in the world and it will work. You do not have to rely on an internet connection to process these inputs and outputs. So that is its big selling point, the fact that it doesn't use Wi-Fi. So another company called Waverly Labs has reinvented the idea of instantly translating different languages as well. And rather than just creating a handheld device that you have to hold in your hand and transport back and forth, Waverly Labs has invented what's called Pilot. And it is actually a wearable device that you put in your ears. It's like headphones. And it'll translate whatever the device hears. So if someone's speaking to you in French, the device will translate it in your ears, and then what you will hear is actually the English version of what they're saying. So the device is good for just one-way communication. It's not the best when it comes to two-way, because when you speak, they still don't understand what you're saying, but you can understand what they're telling you because it'll translate it for you. That's where the app comes in handy with Pilot, is that you can listen to what they're saying, and then it translates it for you, and then you can actually type your response and it'll speak it to them. So that's where an app actually comes into play. So it's available to do two-way, but the sole purpose is for one-way translations. So speaking of those applications, that kind of brings me into the software and application sector. So according to Statista, which is a credible statistic company, the number of smartphone users worldwide as of 2019 is 3.2 billion individuals. So because of that large number of people, users and developers are able to take advantage of that technology and create and implement applications so people can, instead of buy a new device that translates it, just download an app on their phone and it does the same thing. So one of the biggest apps that people use is called Google Translate, and I'm actually going to demonstrate how the Google Translate app works for you, so that way you are able to just see the benefit of modern day technology. So this is the app. It's called Google Translate. It's kind of hard to see, but pretty much what you do is I would speak my natural language and it will translate it and verbally speak it out into a different language. So I chose Spanish, so I'm going to say, "Where's the bathroom?" in English. Where is the bathroom?
¿Dónde está el baño?
So they'll hear that, and so I will be the person that's Spanish, and I'll say, "El baño está en la casa."
The bathroom is in the house.
So that's pretty much how Google Translate works. Google Translate improves all the time, and it's not the only app out there that people are able to use. There is another, it's pretty popular. It's not as popular as Google Translate, but it definitely does pretty much the same kind of thing, and it's actually called Microsoft Translate. Microsoft has created their own separate app. Works best on a Microsoft phone, on a Windows phone, but it does come supported with iOS as well. So, or you can just get it on any regular standard Android device. So that's really good. There's a lot of translation apps out there. I personally like the Google Translate better. So let's move on to the kind of learning a foreign language. So before, it was really difficult to kind of sit in class, learn a different language. It was very slow. It took a lot of time and a lot of practice. And over the years, especially today, that is kind of a obsolete way of learning a new language. The best way now is to learn online, on the go, and one of the best apps or schools that you can use, it's more or less a online virtual school for just learning a new language. And the best one that I found was called Rosetta Stone. A lot of you know Rosetta Stone, but it really takes into account all the factors of learning a new language and implements it into its program. So developers and companies around the globe have decided to add onto the already advanced standard classroom techniques and just put it online and let people do it at their own pace. And that's what Rosetta Stone's really good with. So thanks to Rosetta Stone's online platform, students can learn a new language of their choice at any location of their choosing, while also accomplishing their task at a faster pace. So not only can you take it on the go, but you can learn it at a faster pace. So while Rosetta Stone's advanced technology is designed to create an on-the-go experience, there is another form called Babbel, and Babbel's biggest thing is they help people learn a new language very efficiently while being able to memorize the huge amounts of material. So they not only focus on you learning it, but they help you memorize that material for a long term. So they create these kind of quirky little, analogies and just cool little things that'll help you remember those words and help you understand it a little bit better, because it is a lot to learn a new language. So for millions of people, learning a new language can be really a challenging concept. It's not easy for some it is, but a lot of people it's not. So while some people decide to learn a new language for pleasure, others may just be required to learn that new language because they need to know it for a job, or they need to know it for going on a trip or something like that. So that's where the translation comes in. If you need to know a new language quickly, the translation apps, the translation hardware devices, those come in handy at that point, because you're not so focused on learning that new language as you are just trying to get your task done. And it makes for a seamless experience, because you can still speak to this person in your native language, they'll still understand it. They can speak to you in their native language, and you'll understand it. So it's very, very efficient when it comes to just translating it. So personally, I believe the days of struggling to communicate with an individual who speaks a different language, they're very closely coming to an end. And I believe our future will definitely prove that we can live globally and speak to everybody fluently regardless of our language, because we'll have those translation technologies. So I'm very excited to see where the future takes us in terms of global communication. So thank you.